Well, back in my days, there are a lot of sweet film compact camera, like Rolly, Olympus Pen, Contax, loads of them. They offer the same image quality as SLR because basically they use the same frame, film, and then it's just a lens. Got a sharp lens, got a good compact film camera. But in the digital age, things are getting crappy because you either get crappy compact digital camera, or you have to carry a huge, heavy DSLR, or just use your phone. Fortunately, somebody realized that smartphones are killing compact camera. So they're getting serious about compact camera. This is one of them.
Announced during Photokina 2014 on September, the LX100 looks like yet another high-end compact in this crowded market, with retro design, menu dials, and a large sensor. But to be honest, I immediately saw this stand out of the crowd.
I really quite like the look. It's that kind of modernized classic look. It's got a hint of classicness, but it's modernized. It actually looks a lot like the Panasonic L1 DSLR. It's nice that it got the DigitalRev built-in, XVGA resolution, and then you get LCD. All digital camera got LCD. Who cares how many dots on it? And oh my God, it got aperture ring, and it feels so nice. And across the top, you got the shutter dial. Just a film camera, exposure compensation. You got a shutter release, zoom, on-off switch here, convenience. And you got one button to turn on IA if you secretly don't know how to use the camera. You can just secretly press this. And you got filters. Wow. I have to say I love this kind of manual control a lot. I come from film age, back in my days. You want to set aperture? Do it. You want to set shutter speed? Just do it. You want auto? Turn it back to auto. Simple. Who need PASM mode? And the EVF actually quite good. Well, I usually prefer optical viewfinder, but it works and it responds quick. It do have a little bit of, when you pan it quick, it do actually got a little bit of some edges, got like some red, green and blue edges. It's like the red, green and blue pixels that's separated.
Dynamic range not too bad, but nothing to shout about.
I really love this style. How can you get quicker than this? Get from auto to f8, 11, take a shot. Other digital camera, you have to like change it to from P to A, and then set the aperture, and then you have to look at the digit to change it. This one single action. It is really responsive. Like hard press, hold a button, and then just slap away.
Of course, there were series-ish compact, like Canon G series. Well, I don't get them. I call them oversized compact.
Well, usually not a big fan of high-end compact. Most of them still use tiny sensor. But I get Micro Four Third. I've got the EP1, the first Micro Four Third camera. Cost small enough, but big performance. To me, I would pick Micro Four Third size sensor. Anything smaller than that, I would think you better off just use a smartphone. Well, this one uses a 4-third sensor, like the L1, the first DSLR from Panasonic. 4-third sensors mean that it's bigger than all those RX100, Canon G7X. Like the LX5, LX3 before this one, it got an aspect ratio select dial here. You can pick 4 4x3, 3.2, 16:9, or square for medium format fans and Instagram fans.
What's special about this is it actually don't use the whole sensor. It crops to different area of the sensor, depending on the aspect ratio that you choose. Why? Well, it maintains the same angle of view. For example, the 16:9 aspect ratio is not cropped from a 4x3 photo. You actually got wider at both ends compared to the 4x3 photo.
Even though it's not using the whole forward sensor, it do have a fast lens to compensate it. Equivalence 24 to 70 mm f 1.7 to 2.8. That's really pretty fast lens. With a big aperture, you can sometimes get a little bit of shallow depth of field. Maybe not enough for Kai to shout out, "Oh, delicious!" But got it, kind of, sometimes.
The lens is really quite sharp, even at f2.8. Not only does it use a really quiet lift shutter, it do 11 fps burst, which in combined useful in situations that I didn't expect.
You can also choose electronic shutter, which the shutter speed will go up to 1/16,000 of a second, which is crazy. It got a really fast AF. It still use contrast detection, but it got something called the DFD depth of defocus of depth, something like that. It basically take two shots with different focusing in a really quick burst to determine the focus, something like that, which is quick. Well, I always like forward camera. You know, I got the EP1, that's the first micro forward camera. And this one as well is small enough to carry around every day, and it offers good enough quality. With this zoom lens, it's especially good for travel.
I actually took it to my own holiday in London. Use it in real environment for a whole week to find out things that you don't usually see from a user review.
Of course, I mentioned about the lift shutter. It is really quiet, and it is perfect for situations, place like this, and paired with brilliant AF system. Well, I haven't really measured it, but I think it's as quick as DSLR, even in low light situation, and it's so responsive. You can just lock the focus and then just keep snapping away. Well, the ability to change aspect ratio without changing the angle of view, especially useful for travel photography, like this kind of scenic view. 4x3 will be like this, but without cropping the photo, I can have 16:9. But after I feel the views, I genuinely like this camera a lot. Of course, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of things that's annoying. That is, for example, if I wear gloves, when I turn it on, sometimes I accidentally press the IA button. Well, I would hope that it is prime lens. If it's prime lens, it will be like this size, and then when I carry around, it won't be like catch on anything, and it will be even more pocketable. If I keep it on and put it on my shoulder, it still stick out, and then it sometimes still just catch on things. Well, it is useful. I used to 35mm. It goes to 24. Really useful for travel photography with the 16:9.
It performed reasonably well in low light, good at ISO 1600, usable at 3200. 6400 barely useful, 12,800, 25,600, forget it. The big news about video function is the 4K capability. It's good, although you don't want to rely on it for professional use without mic input, flat picture style, and although it offers manual control, the shutter dial missing 1/50 of a second that's required for shooting under PAL system. For natural use, you probably don't need 4K, while a smartphone is probably easier to shoot HD. Everybody have different preferences. There are smaller compacts, there are compacts with bigger sensor, with larger zoom range, with manual controls, and some people simply don't take any camera with fixed lens. To me, I love the aperture range and shutter speed dial. No more changing between PASM modes. I feel more connect. Well, and it performs well too. But for others, even this is not the camera for you. I think it's always a good thing when camera manufacturer get serious and pushing boundaries.